Most would agree that the primary goal of simulation is to faithfully recreate reality. And what we're looking at today is not the newest product on the market. It's actually been available for quite some time, and it's certainly not the cheapest, but we're testing it because these products represent the top where there were no compromises allowed in the decision making. Hello YouTubers, this is the Noobifier. Kyle and I were at the PRI show in Indiana this year. PRI is like CES for computers and a little bit like SEMA, but with less fake stuff because it's for race teams about race parts and racing innovation. More lately, people who like racing cars are more and more interested in racing sim. There's a little bit of backstory though. MME is a motorsport manufacturer from Slovenia. They've been making race car parts for over 20 years with a focus on sequential shifter conversion. And as you can imagine, such a part cannot ever fail. So they build it with crazy high standards. Parts are milled in-house from solid blocks of aluminum, and there is a minimum use of plastic. Because of their high build quality and rigorous testing, MME offers a lifetime guarantee. You got a name in the comments of another company that you've heard in 2026 that offers that. You'd imagine that during COVID, with the world shut down, that there would be a focus on indoor hobbies, and they got a big boost. Historically, MME products were normally anodized in blue, but later models were done up in black because some customers requested that they didn't want blue, but then after that happened and they stopped making blue, then some other customers wanted blue again for nostalgia, so you're gonna see both. MME took their ideology from the track and designed sim parts, a shifter and then a handbrake. The shifter would need to switch between H and sequential. The shifter would have the most satisfying feedback to the end user, and the shifter would also be quiet because no one wants to make something loud for nothing, if possible. Starting with a solid block of aluminum, the frame is milled, then the sides are milled, and then the shaft is milled, and then everything is assembled by hand. Unlike other shifters who use a Hall effect sensor for everything, this shifter also uses Hall effect, but rather than interpreting one signal, which needs to be calibrated, this one has one Hall effect sensor per gate position. It's a lot more expensive to make, but it will never need calibration and will never ever miss shift. The compact frame is simple and has a timeless look. There are carbon fiber panels on the front and back cover, and it ships with two styles of carbon fiber handles. The action is smooth and solid. It never needs maintenance. You're able to quickly convert from H to sequential in a couple of seconds. The computer sees different bindings for sequential and H pattern, so there's no need to mess with the in-game bindings when switching. Sequential has a nice clicky feeling and a very short throw. In H pattern, you can also lock out to 4-gate from 6, which is good for some of those people who like to use historical cars or perhaps NASCAR-style cars. Finally, your reverse is protected with a lift-up lockout. As a reviewer and installer of sim, I have tested practically everything on the market, and there are very few at this level, but nothing else that is this compact as the MME shifter. The way that they make products ensures that it's practically impossible to fail, which is just like what they decided is needed on a race car, and which is why they're able to put a lifetime warranty on it. If I had any negative feedback to them, it's that the wire is permanently attached instead of being just a port that can be plugged into the case. This removes my ability to choose the perfect length of wire to ensure perfect cable management. Also, if something does happen to the wire, like someone steps on it, then you're actually forced to contact them, but you could have just gone to Amazon and bought a new part. Or maybe you've got a bin of wires somewhere and you could have just used one of those. We'll quickly cover the handbrake. It's simple and elegant. The handbrake is designed to work with the shifter. It has to do one thing and one thing only, but just like the shifter, it's made out of 3 parts that are milled from solid blocks of aluminum. The 2 halves of the case hold the moving parts in bearings. These are milled to tolerances that ensure that there will never be any free play or wobble. You get a nice progressively firm feeling, and the sensor reports with a repeatable, consistent, and linear manner. There are several mounting options which are also milled and anodized like all of the other parts, and I think that's all I really need to say about this. If you're in the market for such a thing and the cost works within your budget, then I support you buying it because this gets a solid will recommend from Noobifier. It's rare to find a company in 2026 with an allergy to making things out of plastic. If you're in the Ottawa area and want to see this thing in person before you buy, then please message me for this and for anything else else you may see on the channel, when we were at PRI, Marco had said that they were innovating in the sim market, that they were still innovating, and perhaps I might be given an opportunity to test their newest offering for review, so sub and stay subbed to be informed of the newest things when they come out. Thank you very much for spending your time with me. Drive safe.
Caution, brake, shipping right, narrow.